I forgot to set up my thing. Whatever. You just have to look at my Hoopla list. That's right. I watched Rally Road Racers. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Alright. Here we go. Let's do this one fast. Because I'm trying to move on with my life. You know? It's Saturday morning. NBA playoffs. Let's get this bracket over with. What? Who's up? I actually gotta pull it up on my phone because I don't remember. Dude, the Hornets were terrible. That was insane, man. The Hornets were horrible. What the hell, man? LaMelo had like 2 points in the first half. He scored his first basket with like 30 seconds left in the first half. Alright, first up, Thunder Suns. I mean, come on, Thunder. The Suns are a good team, though. I think the Suns are legitimately a pretty good team. But it doesn't matter. They lose. Lakers. Rockets. God, dude. Honestly, the best case scenario for the Rockets is that they lose in this first round. Because if they lose in the first round, Udoka's getting fired immediately. And I think he needs to be fired. I don't care how far they make it. Unless they make it to the conference finals. Unless they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round, Ime Udoka should be fired. What I'm worried about is that the Rockets beat the Lakers and they win one game versus the Thunder, and the Rockets ownership is like, oh, it was a weird year, and Fred VanVleet and Steven Adams, and we'll make some trades, and Ime Udoka's still good, I mean, we did get to the second round. We got farther than last year. We'll give it one more year with Ime Udoka. I think that's the worst case scenario for the Rockets. But unfortunately for them, I think that's what's going to happen. So Rockets beat the Lakers. I don't think that's a controversial pick. But as somebody who went into this season being like, the Rockets are one of my favorite teams this year. I was like, this is one of the teams I'm going to root for this year. That's what I said. And by February, I had literally made a vow to never watch the team again. I think I maybe watched one, maybe two more regular season Rockets games. I watched every single Rockets game up until like early February, and then I was just like, I'm done with this team. This is too painful to watch. Nuggets, they need to get rid of... The Rockets need to fire Udoka. If they do not fire Udoka, they're bad. Timberwolves. So I'm going to go Nuggets. But, dude, this is a tough one, actually. This is actually kind of a tough one. I mean, the Wolves are pretty good, right? The Wolves could give them a hard time, but I gotta go Nuggets. The Nuggets, every single series with the Nuggets in it is gonna be pretty close. But whatever, we'll go Nuggets. I think Nuggets in 6. I don't think this one goes to 7 games. And then Spurs, Blazers, praise it, blaze it. Denny Avia is great, but Spurs. And, I don't have much to say there. The Spurs are going to beat them in 5 or 4. I wouldn't be surprised if the Spurs beat the Trailblazers in 4 games. Alright. Let's get the easy one out of the way. Thunder in like 4, dude. Thunder in 4, no joke. I'm hoping the Thunder wins in 4. Like... Every game the Rockets win in this series is bad for the Rockets. Because every game the Rockets win in this series is more argument that Ime Udoka should stay. And I am 100% out on Ime Udoka. 100%. all of my stock. I never had stock in the first place in Ime, but somebody could offer me 1,000 shares of Ime Udoka stock for a penny, and I'd be like, that is a bad investment in that penny, bro. That's how I feel about that. Nuggets Spurs, this, to me, this might be the hardest series to call in all of the bracket. And here's the thing, I think the Spurs could beat the Thunder. For some reason, I watched the YouTuber predictions. You know, everybody's making their predictions. And they said that... I'm going to move my camera. They said that the Nuggets had the best chance of beating the Thunder. I don't really think that's true. I think the Spurs have the best chance of beating the Thunder, but I don't know. This is why this is so hard to do. This is a toss-up. This is 100% a toss-up. Oh my gosh. You know, here's the thing. If I pick the Nuggets, I think I'm picking the Nuggets against the Thunder. No. If I pick the Spurs, I think they beat the Thunder. But if I pick the Nuggets... Oh my god. You know what? I'm rolling a dice. We're gonna roll my trusty dusty... Where's my dice? I'm gonna roll my D20. We're gonna leave it up to fate. Sometimes fate plays an important factor in this. Actually, you know what? I'm not leaving it up to fate. Because I was thinking about fate, and I think fate will decide. But I'm not just gonna roll the dice. I think the Spurs are gonna win. I think somebody... Here's what happens in the playoffs every year. Every year, one of these contenders, somebody gets hurt, and they're basically done. Okay, last year it was like Damian Lillard, Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, like all got injured. I'm sure there was somebody in the Western Conference. And it's just like they're done. I think somebody on the Nuggets is going to get hurt. And I don't think the Nuggets can afford even one serious injury. Like if Cam Johnson or Cam Thomas or whatever his name is goes down, I think that's enough. The Nuggets have to be 100% healthy, and I'm picking the Spurs. I think they have the Spurs can win. Okay, if Wemby gets injured, obviously, you know, it's over. But if Castle gets injured, I think they probably won't win. And then I think they can survive anybody else getting injured. They could definitely survive De'Aaron Fox getting injured. No respect for De'Aaron. Alright, I'm going to do that on the back, on the next page. We got to move on to the other conference. Who do we got? Detroit versus Orlando, right? Yeah. Pistons. Can this fit here? I gotta... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Perfect. Pistons Magic. That's an easy one. I think the Hornets played atrocious. Honestly, I think they played pretty bad in both their play-in tournament games. The fact that it went to overtime against a Bam Adebayo-less Heat is pathetic. And then they were pathetic again against the Magic. Like, somehow Con Knipple went from potentially winning the Rookie of the Year to benched in the fourth quarter at the end of the game when you need a three desperately. The league leader in three-pointers was benched when you needed a miracle three. I was like, what is happening? Thankfully, Kobe White saved him, and I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I feel vindicated that Kobe White... I wanted Kobe White. I was hoping the Mavericks would trade for Kobe White. I was like... I watched two Bulls games in my life, and both times I was like, dude, I want that Kobe White guy. But whatever, he went to the Hornets. We could have gotten him, but they were horrible. The Hornets were horrible. I'm not picking the Magic on anything. Pistons in like 4. and the Magic still fire their head coach. That's my prediction for that series. The Magic get embarrassed. Cavs, Raptors. This one's also easy. Cavs. Cavaliers, 100%. Okay, move on. Knicks, Hawks. Here we go. Dude, what? Why am I so scared for the Knicks? I'll go Knicks. Just because the Hawks... Who's their biggest player? Like, who's their center? Who's the center for the Hawks? I can't think of it. So, I'll go Knicks. But, dude, these are going to be close games. The Knicks, I've said this before many times, and I'll say it again, the Knicks have Moki Doki syndrome. Okay, they got Moki Doki syndrome, which means they only have close games. When the Knicks are losing, they play better. When the Knicks are winning, they play worse. They have Moki Doki syndrome. It hasn't changed this year. They still have Moki Doki syndrome. Celtics, 76ers. Now, if Embiid was healthy, I think this would be a pretty even matchup. And I know it's like, what? The Celtics are like favorites. But the 76ers have played well all year. They play hard. They play physical. They play aggressive. They're a bad matchup for a lot of teams. But Embiid, I don't know, he had to have surgery. They had to cut his gut open and cut out part of him. Let's all go Celtics. Pistons, Cavs. This is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go Cavs though. I think that the Pistons' problems are going to be kind of exposed here. I mean, we all know the Pistons' problems. It's not like they needed, to be exposed for us to see them. But they only have like one really good offensive player. So I think the Cavs will win that one. And then the Knicks Celtics, this is a brutal one. Oh man. This is a tough one. I think I'm gonna go Celtics. And you know what? I'm gonna go Celtics because they have a better coach. Now I hated Tom Thibodeau, but I don't really think Mike Brown is like... He's an improvement in terms of culture and likability, that's for damn sure. Okay, Thibodeau is horrible. But, it's not like Mike Brown is a genius. He's no Joe Mazzulla. Alright, so we got our final four. I'm going to switch the page here. Final. Oh my god. Final four. And who was it? It was Thunder versus Spurs. Somebody on the Nuggets got injured. I'm going Spurs. I don't see Wemby losing to a Chet Holmgren team. I think it could end up being like the Achilles heel of the Thunder dynasty hopes, is that they just happen to have one of the best players, potentially somebody who could be one of the best players of all time in Wemby, who just really, really, really hates one of the players on your team, one of the most important players on your team, Chet Holmgren. And I don't know what it is. I don't think Chet Holmgren has done anything to Wemby to warrant it. I think Wemby just doesn't respect him at all. And I honestly, I'm picking the Spurs to beat them. And then who is it? Celtics, Cavs? Yeah. Cavs, Celtics. And this is a toss-up to me. The thing about making these brackets is that eventually you just sort of like lose your mind. And you just start to go insane by the end of it. By the end of it, you're just like, oh, I don't know, man. I think the Cavs could really do it, bro. And you know what? I want to pick the Cavs? Am I really going to pick the Cavs? Yeah, you know what? I'm doing it. I'm going off pure, I don't even know, pure what? Pure insanity? What's that Oingo Boingo song? Insanity? Insanity. Spurs, Cavs, finals. Let's go. And you know what? Spurs. I mean, that would be pretty crazy if the Cavs won it. I think if it was Spurs versus Cavs in the finals, I'd root for the Cavs. Champion. Spurs. Boom, look at that. We're done with the video already. Click. It's one of my shortest videos of all time.